Right off the bat, um, I'm gonna have to say I did not like Chucky season two. There were parts it wasn't absolutely terrible. There were parts I liked. I really liked Nadine. Um, but there was just so much I didn't like. It was cringy. It was cheesy. It was weird. It was hard to follow at times. Chucky has always been a bit cheesy and weird. There's been parts that have been retconned, etc., etc. But I just really didn't like this season. Um, the gender fluid son slash daughter of Chucky um, is now non-binary, which I'm fine with, but it's very weird. They kind of have an explanation. They were split apart from the doll, so they don't feel whole. So that's should be the reason they're non-binary. But they end up getting put back in the doll, and they do go by a different name, Gigi, but they still have a they them pronoun on their doll now. So I'm assuming they're still gonna go by they them pronouns. So that's kind of weird. You'd think they would go back to gender fluid, but I guess that's their way of retconning that. Even though they were gender fluid 20 years ago and they were gender fluid in the last season, Chucky's like, I got a queer kid, gender fluid, but they're non binary now. Um, Maybe it was just a way to establish what their gender identity was in the seed of Chucky, and they decided they wanted to change it in the next season, but it was weird. They also use a word that I'm pretty sure is made up, because I have a few non binary friends and they've never said this. But they call them nibblings, which is a very weird name. Not to mention the fact that siblings is gender neutral. So it's not misgendering them. But then later, Jennifer Tilly, who never misgenders Glenn and Glinda, refers to one of them as a sibling, even though they tried to say that nibbling was the correct term. Very fucking weird. Maybe it was a writing mistake. I don't know. Um, Jake and Devon have relationship problems. That's like a big thing. Lexy has like a boyfriend in the first episode, but she just forgets about him. I didn't have a problem with it, but it's not like he was memorable or anything. Um, he doesn't even get killed by Chucky or anything. But later in the show, Nadine asked her if she has a boyfriend, and she said she used to, but it was clearly hinting at, Junior. So I guess she broke up with that dude off screen or something, because now she doesn't have a boyfriend. I don't know. Um, I really did like Nadine. It sucked that she died. I hate when shows are just so scared to kill their already established characters. They easily could have killed Lexy. Because she just isn't that likable in my opinion. I've always liked Devon and Jake better. And Nadine was a really cool character. But no, she sticks around. I don't hate her, but I don't exactly like her character. Especially since how much of a dick she was in the first season. I get there can be character growth, but making jokes about someone's dead mom is just way too far. Um, yeah, she's likable now, even though she's really not. She has a drug addiction now. Dean tries to help her fight it, and they do a very realistic thing where she starts getting back into it after Nadine dies. Because that is definitely something that would happen with someone that is addicted to drugs. The person that helped them get out of it is now gone. So they don't really know what they're going to lose. It's very realistic. But she gets off of it really quick right after. Because she's just done with drugs again. um, Caroline turns out to be a bad guy or whatever. She's now working with Chucky. So that was a twist, I guess. They finally kill off the mom. She should have died in the first season. Because she just wasn't that big of a character. She was just a dick mom. Literally every single one of the parents died in the first season besides her. So it took her longer, but she dies in the season finale. And I was like, she's going to die at some point. No way is she going to stick around for another season. And then Chucky fucking chainsaws her in half. They also do a bit of a fourth wall break with Chucky killing Liv Morgan, because Liv Morgan had an interview where she says she doesn't want a major role. She just wants to be brutally killed by Chucky. Her death was very underwhelming. It wasn't bad. It wasn't just like, a throat slit or being killed off screen. But it is probably one of the more, like less dramatic and less graphic kills. It was probably a safe decision for WWE not to have one of their famous wrestlers be brutally killed. But, it's weird to show that she wanted to be brutally killed and her to just be stabbed in the gut a bunch of times. Which is definitely like the least violent thing to happen in Chucky, maybe in the 80s movies. Like, it's the least graphic kill in this. For sure, because there's people getting their eyes ripped out, blown up, their throat slit, and it was still pretty graphic for a throat slit. There's a lot of brutal kills, and then you look at hers and it's like, that's all? I thought they were just going to do one stomach stab at first, but I'm glad they did more than that. That's honestly really it. There just isn't that much to talk about for Chucky Season 2 because it's just not that interesting in my opinion.